Da, da, da. We are back. Right, yeah, I can just skip it. Okay. I'll listen to the opening once again later on. Yeah. This is not my usual recording time, so but I decided that I really wanted to play, so I guess this will be like an extra part or something. I don't know. I'll just release this alongside others, so yeah. Let's continue. Oh, actually, I need to. I think my voice is a little bit low when compared to character voices. Let me just do that, and then voice volume. I'll lower it by 1, and hopefully that will help. Okay, let's continue. We had a dinner to get through. Yeah.
Yeah, Shokun.
Greetings, Kraus. Let me just instantly check if I think I checked these at the end of the last episode, but yeah, I remember large Japanese numbers, and yeah, probably nothing new here. We're still missing these two, and nothing here for Maria's father. Okay, sure. Let us continue.
当主様は具合が優れられないとのことだ。
Yeah, no shit.
せっかくこうして1年ぶりの会合に集まってくれた諸君と昼食を共にできないことを非常に残念にしておられた。
Why are you lying immediately?
ゴーダ、ランチを始めてくれ。
かしこまりました。それでは本日の昼食を始めさせていただきます。
南條先生、そんなにお父様のお具合は悪いの？
About to drop dead.
せめて顔くらい見せてくれてもいいわよね。
体調というよりは機嫌ですな。
Yeah.
こればかりはつける薬がありませんので。
おいおい、機嫌ってまたかよ。そりゃないぜ。
I mean, you could give him drugs. That could do it.
こちとら、秋のクソ忙しい時期にスケジュール都合して、ご機嫌伺いに来てるんだ。それをよ。
よかったじゃないか、ルドルフ。
Yeah?
ご機嫌は伺えたんだ。それとも、不機嫌な親父殿を私に代わり、お前が説得して連れてきてくれるのかね？
You both have, like, really punchable faces, but you even more than Rudolph. Rudolph has, like, some charm. Like, older man, playboy, but you are just like... Nope.
まさか。
Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, even though Rudolph seemed to resent the way his father did whatever he pleased, he'd rather avoid seeing his face if he could help it. Yeah, understandable.
夕食までにはその機嫌治りそうなの？クラウス兄さん。
そんなことは知らんよ。
No idea.
親父殿に直接聞いてみるといい。もっとも、声をかけない方が機嫌の治りは早いと思うがね。
源氏さんだけだよ。じい様の機嫌を直せるのは。
And Beatrice, but we don't have Beatrice here.
情けないぜ。自分の親の機嫌を使用人に直させるんだからよ。
Little bit of a smug face while you say that.
ジェシカ、余計なことは言わなくていい。
She'd planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it had reached even Krause's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away, sulking. Oh.
機嫌がうんぬんってことは、病状はそんな悪くないんじゃねえの？
No, it's both. He was coughing real bad at the same time.
元気がないってんならともかく、機嫌が悪いってのは少なくとも気はしっかりしてる証拠だぜ。
Yeah, that is true.
おじい様は特に強い気力をお持ちだからね。
Yeah.
でも体が必ずしもそれに伴えるとは限らないよ。去年からずっと余命3ヶ月って言われ続けてる。
And let me guess, this game will go on for a bit over 3 months. So we'll see him die.
最初の診断が正しいなら、おじい様は気力だけで流らえてるってことになる。
No, but I actually don't have any clue how long in terms of like days this game would go on. Like, Battler was under the impression that he would go back to school by Monday, and we're currently Saturday? Or, Saturday, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just this weekend. A very, very long weekend. Or maybe we'll actually go past that and, yeah.
気遣ってあげないといけないよ。
Lunch started with the family's seats still empty. The man who should have been sitting there was already old, and the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Ushiromiya family in a single lifetime was slowly being forgotten. Nobody seemed to feel uncomfortable when the meal began, with that seat still empty. Well, ooh. Yeah, I was afraid that I ended the last part like right before an actual scene ending, but you know, it is what it is. 13:30. Okay. The Ushiromiya family conference was held once every year. It took place on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to use a pretentious name like family conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other surrounded by buckets of sushi. Yeah, but here it's all power plays and trying to, I don't know. I don't think they'll go as far as to try to murder the grandfather to get the inheritance, but definitely power plays. However, in the Ushiromiya family, where the sons and siblings are lent great fortunes, and only those that achieve success in business are considered adults, it literally was a conference. How much of the fortune was invested? What kind of business was conducted? How much was earned? Sorry, I'm yawning. It's still very early in the morning. Like, well, it's 8 a.m. As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the main family could be repaid? Or, alternatively, how much would be borrowed for future business ventures? Right. What lessons had they learned, and what could they learn from their mistakes? It seemed that topics like these had been discussed very seriously in the past. My dad called it a bed of nails. Apparently it used to be a very serious family meeting, where one would commonly be showered with harsh and angry voices, and even get slapped in the face despite being well past the age for it. However, that was all a thing of the past. Oh yeah? By now, everyone had achieved success in their own independent business ventures, and it was on the road to becoming a normal yearly get-together. Even so, being asked by grandfather about the current state of play was an extremely stress-inducing event. And while to us grandchildren it was nothing more than a simple meeting, to our parents it was still a real stomachache. The absence of the man responsible for all this, whatever the reason behind it, must surely have made today's lunch even more delicious. Yeah, no need to stress as much. The phrase, "when the cat is away, the mice will play," comes to mind. Okay. Well then, let me introduce Jessica's father, whose face I haven't seen for 6 years. The man sitting to my dad's left is his older brother and the father of Jessica, Uncle Kraus. This name sure is easy to read, yeah? Kraus. There's so many weird names, it wraps your sense of what's normal and you start to think, hey, what's wrong with Kraus? Sounds pretty cool actually. Just like with Aunt Natsuhi, I don't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Kraus. He had never been one to talk to children, and I felt like he was always talking with the adults, just like Aunt Natsuhi. From the way my dad talked about him, it seemed that he used to be a pretty spiteful and unreasonable person. Used to. Okay. If what dad said is true, he used to be very domineering as the oldest sibling, yeah? And was hated by Auntie Eva, Auntie Rosa, and the rest of the family. Sure. Odd, considering they're all having fun chatting together. Well, I guess even if their relationship was bad when they were children, sometimes when people grow up and go their separate ways, their relationship changes. That's probably what this is. After all, they all have children of about the same age. Since they share similar family environments, they'll probably all profit by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, the parents' circle has been deep in the conversation for a while now about the exams Jessica and I are going to be taking. Jessica, in order to escape the discussion of exams with the old bastard sitting on her left, was purposefully facing to the right, firing off topic after topic so as not to give him an opening. Yeah, I feel you, Jessica. Moving on, let's look at the end opposite from Uncle Kraus and the others. In the very last seat at the table, an old gentleman with a sturdy physique sat facing Kirie-san. This was my first time meeting him. Hello, Nanjo. I had only just been introduced to him, but it seems that his grandfather's personal doctor, a man called Nanjo. Apparently he used to own a huge clinic on the nearby Nijima Island, but he turned it over to his son and then began living a life of leisure in his old age. He's known grandfather since the very beginning when the mansion was first constructed on this island, and they have a history going back several decades. I thought he might be grandfather's companion in his suspicious hobbies, but surprisingly it seems that he's grandfather's chess partner. Yeah? I see. That kind of hobby does seem very like our grandfather with his love of Western style. You could probably also call him the only person able to enter Rokkenjima who is neither a family member nor a servant. Sorry, I had to sneeze real bad. From listening in on his conversation with the womenfolk seated near him, he gave the impression of a calm old gentleman. Considering he's managed to put up with our short-tempered grandfather for so long, I'm sure his big heart is nothing to laugh at. He's being introduced like, well, I mean, this is not his introduction to the player, but to Battler it is, but he's being introduced as this very nice person, and that immediately makes him more sus. Because, you know, never trust butlers or doctors in a, like, murder mystery setting. Still, even if he is his doctor, having someone from outside the Usurumiya family attending the family conference is a little odd. From that fact, I imagine that grandfather's condition has grown much worse, and it may even be one of the major topics of discussion at the family conference. George Aniki was just saying it too. For the past year, grandfather has been continually pronounced as having very little time left to live. It's awful to talk about, but grandfather is an extremely rich man. At the time of his death, his wealth will suddenly be released, along with our parents' stomach acid, surely leading to some serious ulcers. With this kind of thing, the greater the number of ways it must be split, the more trouble will be caused splitting it. Yeah? This kind of talk would probably also be included in the family conference. Oh well, it's not like it has anything to do with us children unless he leaves a will, giving all his wealth to the grandchildren. Finally, even though he's absent, let me introduce our grandfather. The person who should be sitting in that seat of honor is Ushiromiya Kinzo. It really sucks. He gave everyone else in the family these weird names, but he himself uses one which is conservative as all hell. Yeah, get wrecked. If only his name were written with those same characters for gold and vault, but he let us call him Goldsmith or something. That'd be totally awesome. Yeah. Yeah, no, his first name Kinzo does have kin, which means gold. But I didn't know the second kanji meant vault. Or smith, I don't know. As you can probably gather from all the talk about him, he's a frightening person with an extremely short temper. Because I'm just his grandkid and haven't met him since I was in elementary school 6 years ago, I don't remember ever having been beaten by him, but it seems that our parents were raised with an iron fist. That earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Kraus about who should go try to convince grandfather to come out seems oddly funny if you take this into account. In order to tell grandfather's story, you have to take yourself all the way back to before the Showa era. Yeah, 1926 to 1989. This game is taking place in 1986, so we're almost at the end of the era, right? 1986. Before the Showa era, to recount the tale of the Ushiromiya family. Until the Meiji 1868 to 1912 and the Taisho 1912 to 1926 eras, the Ushiromiya family was great and prosperous. Okay. They owned several spinning mills and were very wealthy people who merely had to fall about laughing while the money rolled in. Incidentally, grandfather, as a member of a branch family, originally had nothing to do with the main family. Oh, I see. Distantly separated from the head's inheritance, he apparently had very little involvement with the head house. However, during the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923, the mansion owned by the Ushiromiya main family in Odawara was flattened. Did the main family die? The spinning mills in Tokyo were all burned down in a huge fire. Ah, I see, so it's just misfortunes for all of the family, as if they were cursed or something. Or, yeah, made a contract with the devil or a witch, perhaps, which led to some insane payments later. and the Ushiromiya family lost most of its wealth and family members in an instant. It then became a matter of who would become the heir to the main family, and as it turned out, none were left except for Kinzo, who was as far removed from the main family line as they come. Kinzo himself later said that it was such good luck, it was as though fate itself had been turned upside down. With that, grandfather's ordinary life did a 180. He was entrusted with reviving the wealth that the dying Ushiromiya family had almost completely lost. Of course, just because you suddenly dump a task on someone doesn't mean they can do squat to accomplish it. I doubt the people around him were expecting much. But this is where grandfather began to display his extraordinary talent and good luck. Grandfather used all of the family funds and everything from the hair on his head to his toenails as collateral to borrow a massive amount of money, created a gigantic supply of funds, and immediately started a business. It was like tumbling down a hill on a bike without any brakes, and then jumping onto a neighboring bike, and then another one. Just like some crazy street performance. Probably anyone would have thought that grandfather had no business ability. But with an unbelievable amount of good luck and miracles, with coincidences piling up and every chance taken advantage of, before anyone knew it, he had forged powerful connections with the Allied forces. At the time, MacArthur and GHQ were in charge of Japan. Grandfather, in a twinkle of the eye, began succeeding in business under the protection of the occupying forces, quickly becoming very rich. At this point, it was no longer luck, but information that won the day. He must have made some seriously thick connections with the occupying forces. Grandfather knew about the emergency demands that would be made for the Korean War before they happened. No, more than that, he must have foreseen these special procurements and started penetrating those markets from the very beginning. Yeah. History textbooks say that all of Japan made a large profit of the emergency demands for the Korean War, but that wasn't the case in reality. Only a very limited number of the super rich played the money game and made an easy profit. Most of the citizens remained poor. In other words, grandfather was an extremely lucky member of this group of winners. This all happened during the year 1950, Showa 25, I think. And since the year of the Great Kanto earthquake was 1923, Taisho 12, so yeah, a 27-year difference. That means grandfather was able to revive the near-dead Ushiromiya family to a level even higher than it had been before, in the span of only 20 to 30 years. With that, you'd think that he would revive the main family in Odawara. But for some reason, he went and did something as crazy as buying an entire small island in the Izu archipelago. Buying an entire island is not something that you can ordinarily do today. I mean, you kinda can, if you have enough money. However, grandfather was clever. He contacted the GHQ and applied for the establishment of a marine resource base. Is that why we had so many buildings like near the harbor? He acquired this island as a business property and then reneged, I guess, on it and claimed it as his own plot of land. After the war, there were prevention measures against food shortages, and furthermore, he had sponsorship of the GHQ, which meant that nobody could oppose him. It seems that Tokyo provided the land for for next to no money at the time. Are we talking about the city of Tokyo or like the what do you call it? Private business thing, leadership thing mentioned in Higurashi. It seems that Tokyo provided the land for next to no money at the time. Tokyo later made repeated complaints for the land to be returned, but not much could be done due to the involvement of GHQ, even though they'd been pushed into it. No doubt, he bribed everyone there was to bribe. In the end, the city gave up in frustration. Grandfather, with considerable skill and blessed with good luck, managed to weather the stormy seas of that period, obtaining a vast fortune and his own island. Of course, it wasn't all luck. He was skilled with English, and this was cultivated by his Western obsession. It was by using that as a weapon that he was able to make inroads into GHQ. A mansion was immediately built on the island. Yeah. That would be this mansion. Grandfather, who had always loved the West, made this once uninhabited island, Rokkenjima, a canvas upon which he could realize his dreams to his heart's content. The Western mansion that he had always imagined, overflowing with emotion, the beautiful garden where various roses had been planted, and a private beach where nobody other than himself would ever be permitted to leave a footprint. To have this much would be every man's dream. After that, making good use of his huge fortune, he became a large stockholder in the extremely stable iron and steel industry, and was able to live an easy and comfortable life just using the dividends. Yeah, it would be nice to just live a chill life with passive income from stock and other places where you get income from. But he doesn't seem to care. He's all about the Beatrice smile right now. Well, he's just that incredible. This kind of person normally gets portrayed after the fact as having the ability to foresee and predict the future or something. But Grandfather denies all of that, repeatedly saying that he was simply blessed with extraordinary luck. Anyway, even a lord like that, with all of his dreams made real, can't help but grow increasingly odd when locked up alone on an island. That is true. Everyone knows he's been obsessed with the West for a very long time, but none of our parents really knows when his bizarre black magic hobby began. Perhaps his love of black magic began way back when he became fascinated with the West, or possibly his miraculous stretch of good luck which allowed him to revive the family caused him to feel a mysterious power in himself. Spooky. At some point, Grandfather began to make the research of black magic his life's work. I hope we eventually get into black magic stuff more. I'm quite interested. Filling his study with suspicious books, chemicals, and magical items as he became increasingly bizarre. These being the few remaining years of a person's successful successful in life, those around him warmly watched over him, feeling the time was his to spend as he pleased, or so I hear. But damn, I struggled with that. This one, sorry. No way in hell that's true. They probably were just driven away, thinking, that's disturbing, I don't want to get involved. Well, that war-torn period was a time for big gambles, with both opportunities and risks. I'd like to see Grandfather do so well. I'd like to see Grandfather do so well if he'd been born in this time period. He would have had no opportunities and would probably have advanced like a chess piece from mandatory education to college at a leisurely pace, never becoming more than an average company employee. If that had happened, he'd probably be sitting here with the rest of us, regaling us with tales of his shitty boss. No, not here. In the dining hall of a mansion. We might have been around a table at some bar. If that were the case, I'm sure that this would have been a more comfortable family conference. Sure. Alright, that's enough talk about the geezer who won't pop off. Yeah, Atlee, you've been monologuing so much. More importantly, let's talk about this incredible lunch. Yeah, what are we having?
前菜の刺身のサラダで俺はすでに確信してたね。
Goda cooked up something good?
幸田さんは大したシェフだぜ。しかも魚は近海で取れたやつだろ。スーパーの刺身とはわけが違ったぜ。
おいおいよせよバトラー。育ちがバレちまうだろうが。
Everyone let out a big laugh. Damn it, you say that even though you love those cheap pubs. Okay, but like, cheap pubs have their own charm. Like, you don't go to bars because they're high-end, you go to them because they have their own crappy mood. And probably the people you already know there.
僕も仕事の都合で珍しいところで食事をすることもあるけど、それらと比べてもこれはかなりのものだよ。合田さんは多分その道じゃ少しは知られた人だったんじゃないかな。
よくは知らねえんだけどよ、老舗ホテルでのれん分けだか派閥の分裂だかややこしいことがあってよ。そのトラブルで辞めざるを得なくなっちまったんだってさ。それでその時偶然おふくろが使用人の求人を出してたわけなんだよ。
Or at least that's the story he told us. As Goda cleared away the empty plates, he began to recount his own eventful past, never losing his smile.
世の中というのは難しいものです。
Yes, very much so.
しかし、そのおかげでこうして今日、後宮家で再び料理人として腕を振るう機会を賜ることができました。大勢の方の笑顔も嬉しいですが、お仕えすると決めた限られた方々にだけ喜んでいただくために繊細なお仕事ができるのもとても楽しいことでございます。
Yeah, you're the exact opposite of me. No, this would be horrible.
これもすべて機会をくださった奥様のおかげです。
Although maybe he's just a bootlicker and he's just saying these things even if he doesn't mean them. Goda-san respectfully bowed his head towards Aunt Natsuhi.
応募のあった中でゴーダが一番腕が良かったからです。客観的判断に基づくもので市場はありませんので感謝には及びません。
Oh man, why does Aunt Natsuhi always have to speak so frankly? If only she spoke more gently, she might give off a different impression. Shannon-chan and Kumasawa-san entered from the hallway with a serving cart.
失礼いたします。
それでは本日のデザートに移らせていただきます。
Goda-san and the others laid out the beautifully adorned dessert. I guess it's true when they say you have another stomach for desserts, yeah? I thought that being fed all that delicious food had totally filled me up. But as soon as I laid eyes on the dessert, my stomach started yelling more. I don't know much about desserts, but this looked really good. The white pudding-like substance was garnished with 2 shades of red sauce. Elegant rose petals adorned the dish. When you dine on such magnificent food as this, first it is distributed in front of everybody, and then the chef takes a moment to extol the virtues of his creation. Until he has finished, as a rule, you don't touch the food. Yeah. However, Maria, who had no experience with these ceremonious rules, got excited by this beautiful and delicious looking dessert and jumped into the fray as soon as it was placed before her. Nice, good job. Auntie Rosa scolded her, calling it bad manners, but George responded by saying, now, it's alright. Oh, I thought for a second that George jumped in as well, which would have been hilarious, considering his personality. Wrong one. Oh. Maria exclaimed as he sampled the two colored sauces.
なんだと？当たりと外れがあるのかよ。よし、俺も味見をしてやるぜ。
Apparently, the two sauces were one sweet and one sour. Despite it being bad manners, I also stuck my little finger in and licked it. Ayy. Little rascals. Whoa, one of them was sour enough to make you pucker up. If it were yellow, I'd have suspected lemon, but I couldn't guess what kind of sourness would be red. Okay. I decided to ask Shannon, who was putting away the serving cart behind us.
シャノンちゃん、この酸っぱいのは何のソースだい？
Once again putting Shannon on the spot, and Natsuhi is in the corner face palming. Shannon-chan hesitated to speak. Maybe she was just sitting at the table and doesn't really know. She is hesitating a bit much for that, though. Did I ask something wrong? Or did they use something that we'd be better off not knowing about? She's literally face-palming. While Aunt Natsuhi acted as though she had a headache, Kumasawa-san, who was sitting the other side of the table, began to laugh with a ho 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 ho.
何の材料を使っていると思いますか？
I don't know, you tell me.
驚きますよ。
Oh yeah?
全然わかんねえぜ。というか、熊沢のばあさんがそういう笑い方すると不気味でならねえぜ。で、何なんだよ、正体は。
内緒ですよ。
Of course.
お耳を拝借。
Oh? Kumasawa-san leaned across from the other side of the table. She'd asked to borrow my ears, so I leaned forward too. Their interest caught Jessica, George, Aniki, and of course Maria also put their ears closer. She's gonna say something like blood and weird everyone out.
実はお魚のサバの絞り汁ですよ。
I would not have guessed. I wonder if she's lying. Don't be ridiculous, we all thought, horrified. Only Maria accepted it, nodding with an uh-huh. Sure. When Maria started clamoring that mackerels were sour, the adults were unable to contain their laughter.
違うわよ。酸っぱいのはしめ鯖でしょ。
Auntie Rosa said to Maria in a small voice while turning red. Now I remember it perfectly. Kumasawa-san was always this kind of a character, wasn't she? I think I remember her tricking me about all kinds of things when I was young as well. Yeah, she's a bit of a troll, but we love her for that. Amongst all of them, the most painful must have been that one. That flimsy black stuff you get in Chinese food. I don't think I know what you are referring to. Kikurage mushrooms. Ah, I see. She told me it was penguin meat and I went all around school like a smartass telling everyone, didn't I? Get absolutely wrecked. Plus points. Plus points to you.
熊沢のばあちゃん、相変わらずだな。マリアが信じちゃうだろ
冗談ですよ。
Yeah, we do a little trolling around these parts.
今からゴーダさんがソースの正体を教えてくれますからね。
Goda-san looked a little put out from having his masterpiece laughed at in such a strange way, but after clearing his throat once, he introduced the desserts to us.
それではデザートのご説明をさせていただきます。
Yeah, please do.
本日はご来賓の皆様が大層お気に入りでございましたバラの庭園にちなみまして、パンナコッタをローズガーデン風に仕上げてみました。散らしてございますバラの花びらは当家の庭園より先ほど採取してきたものでございます。
Sure.
ソースはストロベリーとローズヒップの2色の赤をご用意しました。
Rose hip.
ストロベリーの甘味とローズヒップの酸味を交互にお楽しみになってください。
I don't know what this is.
なお花びらは観賞用となっておりますので、避けてからお召し上がりくださいませ。
For some reason, like a tea brand came to my mind, but why would a tea brand, a tea type, be made into a sauce? Well, for fuck's sake, I need to stop recording because people started drilling there. I'll continue later on. Bye. Okay. We are back. Certainly. Just skip the opening. So it's, I don't know how much after, it's like 8 to 9 hours after they did some drilling, and my neighbors, that is, it seems to be over. I started recording at like 8 to 9 a.m. 8 to 9 a.m. and it's now 5 p.m. So yeah, definitely later in the day. Oh, stop. Don't. I guess we just continue from where we left off before we were rudely interrupted. Yeah, we were about to get some lore from Goda about the foods.
Sauce はストロベリーとローズヒップの2色の赤をご用意しました。
Right.
Yeah. ストロベリーの甘味とローズヒップの酸味を交互にお楽しみになってください。
I still forgot to look what this is up.
なお花びらは観賞用となっておりますので、避けてからお召し上がりくださいませ。それではどうぞお楽しみください。
Yeah, please enjoy. Ah, man, I almost want to applaud before I've even eaten it. It's like when you take medicine, you know, how it seems to work better when you've read the instructions. Thanks to Goda-san elaborating on the details of this dessert, I feel like he's knocked it up another notch. Seriously, should you call him meticulous or just talented? I mean, talented definitely through years of hard work, but definitely meticulous. The dessert was probably planned from the beginning, but he took a cue from our stopping in front of the rose garden earlier today, and displayed an incredibly timely awareness of the season by just adding a few rose petals from the garden. This combination of sweet and sour was also exquisite. Aren't roses like... Well, no, I don't know if roses themselves are poisonous. There's a good amount of flowers that are poisonous. And we've already had talk about poison. I'm just keeping that in the back of my mind all the time. If it was just sweet, you'd just get used to it and become bored halfway through. But by bringing it in the sour sauce at that point, you get a really vivid taste. And then, once you return to the sweet sauce, all of the sourness in your mouth is replaced with an enjoyable sweetness again. I'm sure everyone else felt the same way. Yeah, sweet and sour, sweet and salty, the contrasts work. Every time Goda-san passed by one of the seats, someone praised the taste and his creation.
いかがですか、奥様?
I hope Ava throws it out of a window.
相変わらず見事です。お客様をおもてなしするに値します。
Our guests, I guess we, like all the rest of the siblings, are considered guests. And, or like, because Goda is with you guys, you call the others guests. I guess you guys are mostly in charge of hosting this event. That's what was said before.
恐れ入ります。奥様、ご存知ですか？ローズヒップには頭痛に効く効果もあるそうですよ。奥様に特にお気に入りいただけるかと思い、特別にご用意させていただきました。
そう。ありがとう。
She's either not pleased or just, I don't know.
ほら言ったでしょ、夏日姉さん。ローズヒップは頭痛に効くって。
みたいね。効くといいんだけど。
What's up, Hideyoshi?
ゴーダさん、あんたには惚れるで。なあ、後であんたの待遇を聞かせてや。
Interested in his pay.
無理ならあんたの欲しい年収、指立ててくれるだけでもええんやで。あんたの腕がこの島だけで独占されとるのは人類の食文化に対する冒涜や。その腕、わしの会社で振るってお客の皆さんを喜ばせてみる気はないかのう。
秀吉さん、うちのゴーダを引き抜かれるのですか？
That is exactly what he's doing.
これは困った。ゴーダの待遇をもっと良くしないと引き抜かれてしまいそうだ。
そうした方がいいわね。
Yeah?
じゃないと引き抜かれて、3食が熊沢さんのサバ料理にされちゃうわよ。
I need to somehow disable my right click because I accidentally pressed it again, and again.
これは手厳しゅうございます。
Get this.
すっかり根に持たれてしまいまして。
Very funny, very humorous. Everyone let out a huge laugh. According to Jessica, Kumasawa-san's mackerel jokes were a type of running gag. And our parents had long since gotten used to it, I see. Kumasawa-san often claimed that mackerel contained precious nutrients that could do things such as prevent aging and make people smarter. I mean, fish meat is good for you. I don't know if in like insane proportions, but like eat it once or twice a week. It should be good for you. It seemed that while it couldn't stop the outward signs of aging, it helped prevent aging on the inside. Since she was still healthy enough to tell these kinds of jokes at her age, that benefit must be the real thing.
それでは失礼いたします。夕食にはふるってたくさんのサバ料理をお召し上がりいただきますので、どうぞご期待くださいませね。
期待してるよ。今晩はしめ鯖でキュッとしゃれ込みたいぜ。
Vinegared mackerel.
それは素敵ね。ついでに日本酒の美味しいのも出てこないかしら。
ええ、ございますよ。六軒島名物のサバ焼酎なるものがございまして。
Everything is mackerel flavored. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Kumasawa-san, together with Shannon-chan, bowed and pushed the serving cart away. Amusingly, Goda-san, who looked just as though his stock had been stolen from him, get wrecked, explained very seriously that tonight's dinner would actually be calf steak. Yeah?
熊沢さん、さっきはありがとうございました。
As she pushed the serving cart, Shannon bowed her head very deeply.
なんもお礼を言われることなんてありません。
Yeah, and previously you just said that you can't do anything about them or the situation, but this is the way to go. Just slight nods and nudges helps out the long way. Kumasawa-san played dumb, but it was no accident that she had thrown Shannon a lifeline. Back when Battler had asked for the details of the dessert, Shannon had unfortunately hesitated. Yeah? A repeat of the earlier scene with the bringing in the tea. There may have been several ways to dodge the question, but all of them should have been delivered deftly. And she was not prepared. Shannon, who hesitated when hard-pressed for a response, was always suffering because of this small weakness. If only Shannon, like Goda, had a little of the craftiness needed to skillfully shake off a mistake, her days would be a little more comfortable. Yep. This weakness was especially unfortunate considering how flawlessly she could handle her work. Of course, there were those who well understood Shannon's meek nature and her inability to remember to gloss over her mistakes. Which is why Kumasawa came to her aid without hesitation.
さっき源氏さんが午後のシフトに変更があるとおっしゃってましたよ。
Oh yeah?
確かシャノンさんは夕方までお休みがもらえたと思いました。
I did it again. Can I? Configurations, can I disable my right click or do something with it? No. No. Yeah, can't do anything. I guess I'll just... I mean, yeah, I don't have a controller or keyboard with plus mouse it is. I guess I'll just have to roll with it and hope that I don't press it. Right, you have a break.
羨ましい。
すみません。シフト表を確認していませんでした。
そうそう。オーブンでこれからちょっとサバを焼こうと思ってるんですよ。
What if she just lied to you and you actually do have a shift and she's just trying to crash and burn you after supposedly throwing you a lifeline? That would probably be a thing that, like, servants would, of this mansion would do. Cooking some mackerel in the oven.
できたらお休みの前にちょっと手伝ってくれると嬉しいですね。
Keeping her busy.
はい、喜んでお手伝いさせていただきます。
But we'll just roll with the assumption that she's just helping her out and not being deceitful. To Shannon, Kumasawa was like a mother among the servants. The dining hall needed to be cleaned up, so we were chased out. Instead, tea would be served in the parlor. It seemed that they would be preparing the black tea that Auntie Rosa had bought for Auntie Natsuhi. It screws me over when they say auntie but then aunt here, so I just assumed they were gonna say the same thing, but yeah. Different nicknames or different ways of calling different people. Have to read carefully. Maria insisted that she also wanted to drink the black tea, but was rejected by the old bastard, who told her and the rest of us kids to go play outside.
バトラ君、みんなで表に散歩に行かないかい？
Yeah, let's go to the woods.
バラでも見に行ったらええ。でも天気には十分注意するんやで。空はまだ明るいが、 天気予報は降る降ると繰り返しちょる。
Uh-huh.
マリアは海がいい、
Ooh, yeah, but let's go explore the place where the Tori gate should have been.
あら素敵じゃない。砂浜で遊ぶなんて普段はなかなかできないものね。
そっか。よし、じゃあみんなで浜辺でも行こうぜ。行こう。
マリア、服を濡らさないようにするのよ。靴もよ。
She said that so someone is going to fall into the ocean with fully clothed. It's probably gonna be Battler.
濡らさない。
素直で可愛い。バトラ君、マリアちゃんの面倒ちゃんと見てあげてね。
おうよ、任せろ。
Yeah.
ほう。お前もキリエに頼まれると素直で可愛いじゃねえ
Gotta love the sarcastic father-son relationship.
か。たまには俺の言うことも素直に聞いてみろよ。
へっ、まっぴらごめんだぜ。行こうぜ、みんな。
Oh, sorry. The children flew out of the parlor. They were replaced by Genji, who pushed a serving cart in and prepared the black tea. What up, Genji? Is Kinzo okay now? The parlor was filled with a sublime aroma, which entertained everyone while they waited to appease their thirst.
ルドルフのところは家族仲がいいじゃないか。良いことだ。
よせよ。兄貴のところには負けるぜ。
No, I think you guys are very close.
そうよ。ジェシカちゃん、本当に可愛らしく育ったじゃない。これも夏日姉さんの教育の賜物ね。
Hey yo.
どうも。
Natsuhi answered coldly, not willing to humor Ava. With that, the conversation halted and the parlor became silent. Boo. Party pooper. Possibly because he couldn't stand it anymore, Hideyoshi broke the silence while performing an exaggerated gesture.
しかし成長は早いもんやで。いつまでも子供だと思っとったが、図体はみるみるでかくなり、いつの間にか大人の仲間入りや。バトラ君なんか見違えたで。
体は大きくなりましたけど、まだ子供です。
Definitely.
うちの主人も未だに子供ですけれど。
Definitely. All adults are children, it's just that some are better at masking themselves and pretending to be adults for the sake of the kids.
子供と大人の境ってどこなのかしらね。私、未だに大人になったって自覚が持てない。
I don't think you ever feel like you've really grown up. Like, sure, you get more duties and responsibilities as you grow up, but you still always feel like you're you, even though each and every day you become technically a new you. It's a weird thing.
情けないじゃないか。
Okay.
一児の母の言うことではない。
そうね。私たちももう子供じゃない。大人同士よ。だから感情的にならず、知的な会話をしたいわね。
Sure. When Ava smiled with sharp sarcasm, everything seemed to get more tense. Yeah, the music cut out and we have a clock beating in the background. Or ticking in the background. It felt like the smell of the tea had been prepared so carefully just flew out the window.
知的な会話なら昔からいつも心がけているじゃないか。お前の嫌味は時に的を外している。昔から変わらない。
昔からいつもですって？あらあら、その言葉をきれいに放送して何十年か前のこの部屋に届けてあげたいわね。
Oh yeah?
ねえ、ローザ。
Rosa smiled with a vague expression. I feel like everyone has the most trouble interacting with Ava. Like, they can hold conversations with each other, the rest of the siblings, with relative ease, but it's hard to deal with Ava's constant sarcasm and bitchiness, though I love her for it. It was a bit of worldly wisdom she had needed to learn as the youngest sibling.
よせよ、姉貴。ガキどもがいない間に本題に入ろうじゃねえか。
No, let me learn about Rosa's past.
それこそ知的な話よ。
I mean, sure. As Rudolph glanced over at the faces of all present, some let out a slight sigh, and some let a small look of resignation cross their face. This was the unavoidable true agenda.
去年の時点で余命3ヶ月だったんだ。
Interesting track name. At death's door. Last year, his life expectancy was estimated at about 3 months. Yeah.
ってことは、すでにマイナス9ヶ月ってことじゃねえか。
Fuck. Kinzo is just built different.
いつお迎えが慌ててすっ飛んでくるかもわからねえ状態ってことだぜ。
当主様は今でも健在でおられます。
You should have climbed the stairs to hear him cough. Maybe the inciting incident of this game will be Kinzo's death. That would make sense. Or maybe it's the kids going to the beach and something happening there. I honestly, like, I've seen the first 3 episodes of the anime, but I don't remember almost anything about it. Just very few select scenes. One of them was like all the adults in a room, and one of them was a group initially arriving on the island. Then there is one more scene that I remember, but that's about it. And I'll mention it when it happens. The family head is still in good health. Yeah? Not really.
このような不穏当な話を日も明るいうちからなさろうとするなど、ルドルフさんの正気を疑わざるを得ません。
だがな、夏日さん、こういうしょっぱい話はいざことがあってからじゃ遅いんや。今が元気だからこそ余裕あるうちにしとくもんなんやで。これも財産のエチケットみたいなもんや。
I mean, sure. But I feel like Kinzo doesn't give a crap about that and will just do whatever he pleases and leave some kind of fucked up will.
諸君の関心は親父殿のようじゃないか。
That like fucks up with all of your guys' plans. Maybe he has written one already.
南條先生、あなたから説明してくださいませんか。彼らもそれをお望みらしい。
Nanjo, standing by the window and staring out at the rose garden, let out a single cough when he realized that he was being called.
南條先生。
Yeah?
お父様の具合はどんな感じなんですか？
Fucked up.
まずはじめに、私が去年申し上げました余命3ヶ月という言葉が一人歩きをしているようですので、その訂正からいたします。
allow me to start by correcting it. He still has 3 months left. And in 5 years, he still has 3 months left.
言われずともわかるわ。余命というのはあくまでも見込みであって約束ではないとおっしゃられるのよね。
さようです。ですから皆さんからたびたびお尋ねを受けますが、 いつ亡くなるのかということは決して断言できないことなのです。人の命は体と心に支えられております。
His mind is fucked. Only thing going up there is the thought of Beatrice and her smile.
体が弱れば危うくもなりますが、それを補う心の強さがあれば小康状態を維持することもあるのです。
Sure.
体はともかく、お心はまだしっかりしていて、意気健康でいらっしゃれるということですね。
His mind is not firm, but he is spirited. He's losing it inside.
キリエ、すまんがしばらく黙っててくれ。
ごめんなさい。
I don't know why, but these two, well, your personality is very different, but these two give like vibes of some of the Fate Zero cast members. I don't know why.
さようです。金蔵さんの体はすっかり病魔に蝕まれております。
Oh yeah?
ましてやあのような強いお酒をたしなまれ続けてはとても。
But this liquor is the lifeblood.
崖っぷちなのも酒のせい。
Yeah, Kinzo is edging. Kinzo is edging real hard in more ways than one.
ながらえてるのも酒のせいか。酒豪の親父らしいね。
それで先生、もちろん見込みで結構なんですけども、お父様、来年の今日まではさすがにどうかしら？
当主様に対してあまりに無礼な質問です。
Shut up. She has the right. She's the direct descendant of Kinzo. I'm sorry, that was rude. Natsuhi jumped on Ava, unable to hide her astonished expression. In response, Ava returned a defiant look, but Hideyoshi noticed and tried to smooth things over with a forced smile. We love a good smug face.
ああ、夏日さん、カニーナ。エヴァ、お前も少し言葉を選ばんか。
No.
ごめんなさい。お父様の容体が気になって仕方なかったもので。
そうですか。
Yeah, definitely.
それは気づきませんでした。
Definitely you're
南
bad.
條先生、聞かせてやってください。父親の寿命を気遣う娘の麗しい家族愛じゃないですか。
Yeah, Ava is so worried. Rose laughed sarcastically, and Ava, smiling sweetly, returned an identical chuckle.
来年までお元気かという質問ですが、医者の私としてはとても難しい。
Nah, he's gonna be fine. He'll still be default dancing next year.
この小康状態がまだしばらくは続くようにも思いますし、何らかの発作が来れば、その時にはどうしようもないかもしれません。
Suffering fits is his superpower. He just gets stronger.
何しろ、六軒島は孤島です。すぐに救急車が飛んでこれるわけではありません。
That is true. So, and he hasn't like made sure for you or to drag equipment here that you could use, or are you like not trained to be like a surgeon in case of emergencies? You're just a doctor who identifies stuff and helps and consults and prescribes medicines.
本来ならば本土のしかるべき大病院に入院していただきたいところなのですが、
親父殿は高尚な研究を中断されたくないと仰せだ。去年無理に連れ出そうとしたのがあだになったらしい。外へ出れば病院に閉じ込められてしまうのではないかとひどくお疑いになられていてな。すっかりこのざまなのだよ。
南條先生の診察は受けておられるの？
Hopefully.
親父殿は南條先生には心を許しておられる。機嫌が良ければ診察も受けられるようだがね。
容体を見はするが、薬を勧めようとも入院を勧めようとも聞き入れてくれん。本当に見るだけですがな。
Right.
お医者嫌いの方もおるもんや。しかし困ったもんだのう。
Nanjo sighed deeply. The purpose of an examination was to determine what medical treatment was appropriate. Receiving an examination and then not following the advice given made the whole thing pointless. I mean, kinda, but there is, I guess, value in just knowing the disease.
つまりおさらいすると、相変わらず余命は3ヶ月。瀕死のまま。あとどれだけ流らえるか見当もつかねえってことだ。
ルドルフさん、言葉を少し慎まれてはいかがですか？
No, I think that was a pretty good and neutral way of saying it.
ああ、すまんね。昔からこういう口の聞き方なんだ。勘弁してくれ。
南條先生のご意見は分かりました。クラウス兄さんから見てどうなの？
Kraus is smiling inside so hard.
実を言うと、南條先生とは異なる意見だね。
Oh yeah? You think he's about to die? Perhaps either on Saturday, October 4th or Sunday, October 5th? Do you have a dastardly plot in mind?
とても余命3ヶ月の重病人とは思えないというのが本心だ。
It's only 3 months to live. Yeah.
怒鳴り声は相変わらず健在で、いつぶん殴られるかとヒヤヒヤしっぱなしだよ。
Okay, never mind then.
長男にだけ親父の世話を押し付けるのは実にフェアではないね。
来世では俺より後に生まれろよ。さて、話を戻そうぜ。そんなわけで、公正中立なお医者の先生の見解じゃ、いつお隠れになっちまってもおかしくない状態だ。
Right.
兄貴には悪いが、ここは専門家の意見を採用させてもらうぜ。となりゃ、決して親父の財産を話し合うことは、時期尚早ではないってことさ。
Somehow, you all managed to finally guide yourself to this topic you all wanted to discuss so much.
お父様の個人資産はおそらく数百億にも届くでしょうね。
Damn, so in dollars that's $1 billion, 100 million. Yeah. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Damn.
でもそれは綺麗な現金で揃ってるわけじゃないわ。お誕生会のケーキみたいに綺麗にナイフが入ってカットできるほど単純じゃないでしょ？
Right. Investments and stocks and properties and all kinds of stuff.
姉貴の例えは面白いな。そうさ。ケーキの上にはイチゴやらチョコの家やらが乗ってて、綺麗に等分するのが難しいことだってあるだろう。
Your knife just sucks.
それを加味して、どういう風にナイフを入れるのか、先に相談しておくのは大切なことだと思うぜ。
それを当主様が存命のうちからさも他界なされたかのように声高に議論される皆さんの気が知れません。
The family members of Ushiromiya family members are just built different. Taking that into consideration, I think it's important to first discuss how best to stick the knife in, don't you? So someone's gonna get murdered by a knife.
あら、必要な話よ。だって遺産相続はその時点で直ちに行われなきゃならないものよ。ましてや栄光ある後宮家の財産は莫大。事前に入念な相談が必要なことはお分かりでしょうが、当家の資産は あなたのご実家とは大違いなんだから。
失礼な。
We love a good flushed Natsuhi face. I wonder if we'll ever get sprites like this for Ava. I'm perfectly content with simply just smug ones, but I would like more distressed ones or embarrassed ones for her too. Would be a nice contrast to her usual demeanor.
私の実家は関係ありません。
As Natsuhi resentfully responded in a low voice, the already dark atmosphere grew even more hostile.
予算かえば、夏日さん、堪忍な。口が悪いのは許したってな。
Hideyoshi tried to smooth things over by glancing at both with a forced smile, but it only resulted in making the hostility between Ava and Natsuhi even more intense.
これ以上はお邪魔なようですな。
I guess your role here was just to tell us that what Kinzo's situation is.
失礼させていただきましょう。
Nanjo rose from his seat and exited the parlor. This may well have been a normal act of courtesy expected of an outsider, but even so, his back was watched by several glances envious of his ability to escape. True. After the doctor had exited and his footsteps had disappeared into the distance, Kraus recrossed his legs. Of course he's the type to cross his legs.
つまりお前たちの言い分はこうかね。親父殿の余命は短い。遺産分配について早急かつ具体的な協議に入りたい。何を焦っているのかね。確かにお前たちの言う通り、後ろ宮家の財産を算定し分配するのは簡単なことではないだろう。なれば、じっくりと算定すべきじゃないのかね。
Fuck. Sure, I guess. But that is a good question. Why are you so eager, I wonder? Yeah, it's not like it's gonna go anywhere if it's not divided in the first 10 seconds of his death.
お前たちは今晩のうちにもケーキを切り分けたいと焦っているように見える。
Okay, Kraus bringing in some mystery.
そうだろう？ローザ、何を焦ることがあるのかね。
焦ってるわけじゃない。
Okay.
でも、兄弟の間での取り決めは必要。
Are you doing some weird play that I don't know about, or is there actually something that we, the player, are not privy to that the Ushiromiya siblings know about? Something special about the inheritance?
それはいつでもいいことだけれども、お父様の具合が悪くなっていて、その日が近づいているというなら、先に話だけしておいても、それは請求とは言わないと思うし。
I guess nice cover. Rosa sneaked a glance at Ava and Rudolph. As the youngest daughter in the family, being cross-examined by the eldest was harsh.
ほう。
ほう。
それはお前の本心かね。兄弟で一番素直で綺麗な心を持っていたお前がそんなことを言い出すとは思えんね。そこの二人に吹き込まれたんじゃないのかね。
Oh?
よせよ、兄貴。
Is Kraus actually onto something, or am I just falling for his speculation and mind games?
ローザだって兄弟だぜ。親父の遺産に公平な権利が
Yeah,
ある。
of course.
関心を持つのは当然じゃねえか。親父だっていつかは必ず死ぬし、それは遠い未来の話でもない。むしろ兄貴が悠長すぎるくらいさ。まるで遺産分配から話をそらしたくて仕方がないように見えるぜ。
それはどういう意味ですか？
I mean, my question. Exactly.
主人にやましいところがあるとおっしゃいたいのですか？
I think all of the siblings are doing something.
まあ、夏日さん。
Maybe not Rosa, but she seemed to be onto something or privy to something.
話は聞いておくなはれ。
兄さん、今は大変強気だそうじゃない？そうよね。去年以降、空前の好景気で円は上がる一方。
Oh, right. This is set in the 80s, 1986, so the yen value is different from current, so I actually don't know what the tens of billions of yen mean. I guess I can quickly Google it. 1986 yen value. No, not 1986. US dollar Japanese yen historical reference. Okay. We are in, what month are we in again? October. Here it says October 4th. $1 equals 154 yen. So it's, I guess, not too different. So okay. I guess we're still somewhere in the hundreds of millions ballpark. Damn, I've played almost 10 hours already. Oh, it shows a click count as well. Thanks to the unprecedented boom in prosperity.
ドルが100円に至るのだって夢物語じゃなさそうよ。
I see.
それに、与党は来年頃に保養地整備法を成立させようって言うじゃない。今や日本中のリゾート開発会社がどれだけ軍資金を集められるかって奔走してるところよ。
詳しいじゃないか。これから日本には空前の好景気が訪れる。親父殿が後宮家を再興した時と同じくらいの大規模な需要拡大の時代がね。日本国民は死に物狂いで働き、高度経済成長を実現して世界で一番豊かな国民となり、我が世の春を謳歌するようになった。
Yep, Japanese economy is in a pretty good state.
国民の消費は増大し、それを回収できる施設があぶく銭を手にする時代になったのだよ。
Although everyone in Japan is highly overworked. Not that I know too much about Japanese economy, just something I've picked up or learned while watching anime over the years. Sure.
今や国民のニーズは3種の電化製品ではない。スキー場、ゴルフ場、総合プール、リゾートホテルにテーマパーク。数年前に開業したデルゼニーランドには行ったかね？
Sure, yeah.
素晴らしい遊園地じゃないか。
Yeah, I especially loved their mascot, Monkey Mouse.
あそこでは大人も童心に帰り家族で楽しむことができるんだ。かつて家族を顧みずに滅私奉公することだけが美徳だった時代はもはや終わろうとしている。我々は世界で一番豊かな国民としてようやくそれを享受できるようになったのだよ。
クラウス兄さんの読みは大したもんや。わしも数年前に聞いた時はそんなアホなと思ったわ。でもな、G5 のプラザ合意聞いてから変わったんや。
The G5 nations, yeah, sure. I don't know what Plaza Accord is, but yeah.
円はみるみる強くなり、地価はこれから天井知らずに上がるやろ。日本が世界経済の中心になる日も遠くはない。
It's not quite the center of the in the quite the economic center, but sure.
兄さんは時代を見る目のあるお人や。それだけは間違いないで。
秀吉兄さんに同じだ。兄貴は10年越しで時代を読めてるよ。その嗅覚は親父譲りだろう
な。That keen sense surely came from Ryukishi 07.
大したもんだぜ。だが親父と違ってちょいと見通しのタイミングを読み違っちまったところはあるよな。
兄さんは必ず日本が好景気を迎えると信じてあちこちにリゾート計画を起こし、そのほとんどで失敗し続けたわ。兄さんの読み通りの時代は確かに訪れつつあるけど、その時期を読むことには失敗したわね。早すぎたのよ。
Get wrecked.
そして焦って清算して結局は傷口を広げたわ。本当に嗅覚が当てになって好景気が訪れることを読めていたなら清算するわけない。これって兄さんが自分で自分の才能を信じてない証拠じゃないの？
失礼な。
One pose.
主人を侮辱するつもりですか?
Very much so. So yes. Natsuhi's forehead freezed as she rose from the sofa. Eva, paying this no heed, stared at Kraus with a confident smile. Kraus, who also maintained his confident appearance, told Natsuhi to sit down.
よさないか、夏日。昔からこういう言い方しかできないやつだ。少し落ち着きなさい。また頭痛に触る。
兄さんに才能がない証拠は私たちのすぐ近くにもあるわよ。だって兄さん、この島をリゾート化するって張り切ってたじゃない？
Oh?
素敵なリゾートホテルも建てて、庭園もきれいに整備して。私は素人だから分かりかねるけど、相当のお金を使ったんでしょう。
だから何だというのですか？主人の事業はあなたとは関係ありません。
いいや、そいつは違うぜ、夏日さん。六軒島は兄貴のものじゃない。
That is true.
親父のものだ。もちろん建てたホテルは兄貴のものだぜ。なんなら俺たちは今夜の宿泊料を払ってやってもいいさ。な、ローザ。
それはまあ持ち合わせで足りるなら。
リゾート化できればこの島の資産価値は上がる。
Sure.
支出がかさんだことは事実だが、未来に大きな収穫を期待できる。そうなれば結果的にお前たちにとっても有益なはずじゃないか。
それはわかるわよ。この島の価値が上がれば、それを遺産分配する時の私たちの取り分も増えるもの。もちろん島や屋敷を4分の1ずつ切り取れとは言わないわ。それを算定したお金で解決してくれればいいだけの話よ。
そこまで分かっているなら、私の事業に何の不満があるんだね。
I don't know. Maybe Ava is actually scared of Beatrice.
不満じゃねえさ。不安なのさ。
Okay.
第一兄貴、あのホテルいつになったら開業するんだ？このままじゃ俺たちの手垢だらけになっちまうぜ。
そうよ。大切な商売道具でしょ。確かに開業するまでずっと鍵をかけておくわけにもいかないわよね。少しは使って風通しを良くしないと建物は傷んじゃうもの。でも私たちが年に一度泊まるだけのゲストハウスって言うんじゃちょっと豪勢すぎやしないかしら。ねえローザ。
そうね。あんなに素敵ならオープンしたらさぞや人気が出るでしょうね。
ああ、あなたが前に言ってたホテルってゲストハウスのことだったのね。
立派なもんだろ。ローザの言う通り、 オープンできたら人気が出るだろうよ。
The lodging they had been guided to had not been constructed with the intent of building a guest house. Right. It was originally constructed as a resort hotel. Yeah, I picked up on that during the convo. However, even though it had been completed 2 years ago, there was absolutely no schedule for it to be opened. Yeah.
兄さんのいつもの事業と同じよ。
Mistimed the death of Kinzo, so he can't open it yet because the island is still the property of Kinzo.
着目や企画はご立派。そしていつも途中で立ち行かなくなって何も回収できずに終わる。
I see.
この島をただ住むだけにしか使わないのはもったいないって兄貴の着眼は立派さ。そしてリゾート化してマリンスポーツやらフィッシングやらハネムーンやらを誘致して盛り上げようってのはなかなかいい絵だったと思うぜ。
Sure.
俺だって長男だったならこの島を何かに有効利用できないかと頭をひねったに違いないさ。
でももう出来上がってから2年も経つのよ。2年経って未だに開業のめどはつかないの？任せてる管理会社はどこ？
失敬な。それは主人の手落ちではありません。
Yeah, it's the fault of Kinzo for not dying.
主人の仕事を請け負う会社間でトラブルが生じているだけで、うちはあくまでも被害者です。
Sure.
しかしな、クラウス兄さんが任せてる例のとこ、あまり噂は聞かんで。
Okay, sure. The company itself was a bad decision, so that was the problem on Krause's part.
はっきり言ってあげなさいよ。不払い、横領、トラブルで計画が空中分解しちゃったって話。私たちの耳に届かないとでも思ってる？裏も取れてるんだから。
You're so devious.
何の裏だか存じませんが、事実無根です。
No, it's based.
観光業への新規参入には、方々への根回しが必要になります。相手が信用に足りるかを測ることも大事です。それに手間取っているだけに過ぎません。
ホテルの完成が早すぎて勇み足になったことは認める。だが維持費がかかってるわけじゃない。やがて大きな意味を持つ布石だ。
Explain?
嘘つけよ。生産したくても売れないだけだろ。観光ルートの確立してない何もない離島にやたら豪華なホテルなんて買い手がつくわけもねえさ。それに事業に集めた融資はどうなってんだよ。
維持費はかからんでも回線借金は膨らむ一方や。すまんがクラウス兄さん、この島の開発計画の話ちょいと調べさせてもろたんや。正直こっちも話は聞かへんのや。
秀吉さん、確かに今の財政状況だけを見たらそういう印象を持たれるかもしれない。
Krause is still so smug, despite all of the rest of the family members, like trash talking his financial decisions and situation down. So I guess he has something up his sleeve.
だが、これは先行投資なのだよ。その読みを誤り、これまでに多くの負債を生んでしまったことは認めざるを得ない。だが、ようやく時代が私に追いついた。
Yeah?
これまでに失った分はすぐに取り戻せる。
Oh yeah? How? By Kinzo's death or something else?
いや、それどころか。これまでの投資だってやがては私の元に戻ってくる。そう例えるなら、放った稚魚が鮭となり、肥えて帰ってくるようにね。
それは認めるで。これからリゾート業界は空前の好景気を迎えるやろ。これまでの負債を埋められるほどかはわからんが。
Right, we're talking about the eventual boom of Japanese economy as a whole.
だがな、クラウス兄さん。これまで散々負け続けた兄さんが、 どこから軍資金を調達したっていうんや。それも半端ない軍資金や。あれだけの穴を埋められる軍資金やで。
秀吉さんは何をおっしゃいたいのですか？
ああ、夏樹さん。ほんま怒らんといてえな。わしらも調べたんや。これまで負け戦続きのクラウス兄さんに最近の強気な莫大投資を支えられるほどの融資を誰ができたんか調べたんや。
Pray tell.
結果いねえんだよ。
I see.
そんな後ろ盾は弱り目と逆に張るのがマネールーレットの鉄則だ。兄貴はこの界隈じゃちょいと知られた弱り目さ。確かに時代は好景気を迎えようとしているが、これまでの兄貴の失敗等を天秤にかけて、その上で融資に値すると思う連中がいるのかって言ったら誰もいなかったのさ。
ならね、そのお金をどこから調達したの？
Are you guys suggesting something illegal or maybe stealing from Kinzo or?
ってことになるのよ。
ほう。興味深い話じゃないか。それで？
あなた、このような暴言をいつまで放置されるつもりですか？
座れよ、夏日さん。単刀直入に言おう。兄貴は親父の個人資産を自分の事業に流用してる。
Right.
これはほぼ間違いねえ。これが俺たちの誤解だってんなら、どうかぜひそれを解いてもらいたいもんさ。
ルドルフ、流用なんてもんじゃないわよ。これは横領よ。刑事告発できる立派な犯罪なんだから。
Are you guys trying to get Kraus off the picture so you guys can get a bigger slice of the pie?
無礼極まりない。仮にも後宮本家跡継ぎの後宮クラウスに向かって信じられない暴言です。
暴言じゃないわよ。図星でしょ。なんとか事業を成功させてこれまでの損失を埋めたいんだけど、その穴は広がっていく一方、博打の穴をさらに大きく張った博打で埋めたいだけよ。その軍資金がすぐ近くにあったなら手をつけるのは道理。はっきり言うわ。兄さんがしているのは横領よ。
And before Kraus is like, so what?
お父様に対する裏切りよ。叱るべき決着がついた後には司法に委ねることになるでしょうね。そんな輩に後宮本家跡継ぎを名乗らせるとお思い？
言うにこと書いて、当主様への裏切りとは聞き捨てがたい。
No wonder Ava is so smug currently, or so far in this game, because she's sure that Kraus and Natsuhi will lose their status as the oldest sibling and the inheriting heir.
この栄光ある後宮家の敷居をまたぐ資格はもはやあなたにはありません。
Which would make Ava the oldest inheriting, I guess, yeah, person. Well, I mean, Jessica still is part of the first line of siblings, but you know, you no longer have the right to darken the doors of the glorious Ushiromiya house. Is that so?
即刻ここを出て行きなさい。
I feel like Ava is about to flip you.
さあ、ほら。
Natsuhi, who had already reached the limits of her anger, shouted at Ava in a rage. She then pointed alternately at Ava and the hallway, indicating that she should leave. Ava took out a folding fan and fanned herself with it, glaring maliciously at Natsuhi as though silently daring her to repeat what she'd said. However, her mouth was still smiling, curved in the shape of a crescent moon. In that unpleasant silence, Rosa gulped.
ねえ、夏日姉さん。
Now she's gonna deliver some fucking deadly bomb of a line.
誰に向かってそんな口をお聞きなの？
無礼極まりない主人の妹に対してです。これ以上は私も本家の台所を預かる者として聞き捨てなりません。
台所を預かる？
Oh, we love some elongated words when they come from the place of the person being so smug. Okay. Get laughed manically at.
黙るがいい。この名ばかり女房が。
A unique CG. Okay. Oh, fuck. How do I do this again? Right, escape. Yeah. Her veins are popping. I did notice before that she had earrings. Okay. Ava folded the fan with a snap and rose powerfully. Compared to the elegance and playful behavior she had shown until just now, she was unimaginably aggressive.
バカバカしい。お前が下がりなさい。この後ろ宮エヴァに。当主様の左肩を許されている後ろ宮家序列第3位のこのエヴァに下がれと？身の程を知りなさい。そしてお前のそのみすぼらしい姿を鏡に映してみるがいい。
We love a good evil and yeah, we love a good evil character.
お前の服のどこに翼が？
Right, so the wing is something.
どこに片翼のわしが許されているのか。
One-winged eagle.
貴様など後ろ宮家の跡継ぎを残すためだけの存在じゃないの。身の程をわきまえるがいい。このゲス女が。
While Ava's face grimaced unattractively, no, it's very attractive, not in the traditional sense. Like, I do agree that this kind of a face is more attractive than having bumps and eye bags and veins popping, but we do love a good enraged woman or evil woman or mean woman here. Well, while Ava's face grimaced unattractively, her words pierced Natsuhi's heart like claws and painfully twisted in. There were 100 ways Natsuhi wanted to respond. However, her anger and sorrow crushed her throat, and not one of them managed to make it to her mouth. The anger, which had lost any place to go, became a single hot tear which slowly dripped down.
Nani?
That's a crazy face. Yeah, no shit, a crescent moon-like smile. I did not expect the face to twist that much. I love it. Let me just print screen. No, my mouse was on the screen. Print screen. There we go. I'll just quickly think and save that. There we go.
何か言い返したいならどうぞ言い返しなさいよ。ほーら。
Ava faced her with a provocative gaze. Damn, Ava is gaining stocks even though she was very high already. However, Natsuhi's fist was shaking. She trembled all over, unable to do anything. Kraus quietly broke that powder-cake tension. Okay, Kraus, you gotta come back?
Natsuhi, 席を外しなさい。
Okay.
頭を冷やすといい。
Natsuhi's just like the story itself is making Natsuhi take so many L's. But I don't blame her or dislike her, even though she's being antagonized and being thrown shade at all the time. I quite like Natsuhi. Natsuhi, resenting the fact that her husband had not come to her aid, shifted the focus of her attack. Yeah, once again.
あなたはさっきから何を言われているのか分かってるんですか?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Do you actually have something up your sleeve, like I asked earlier?
この人たちは言うにこと書いて、あなたのことをお父様への裏切り者呼ばわりしているんです。
Does he care about that? I mean, he would care about being accused of embezzlement because that would lead to court cases and possibly being locked up in jail and losing the rights to inheritance. So that part is something I think he does care, but I'm not sure if he cares about being called a betrayer or traitor.
私たちが後宮家の栄光を守り、お父様からそれを受け継ぐため日々高潔であろうとする全ての努力をないがしろにして踏みにじる、なんという聞きがたい暴言。あなたもあなたです。どうして言い返さないんですか？あなたが言い返さないから私が言い返しているのに、さっきからあなたは私に任せっきりで、その私に頭を冷やして来いなんて言うんですか？いつも私ばかり。
Yeah.
私はいつも真剣にこの家のことを考えているのに、それはあなたは。
Actual tears, big flowing tears. Yeah, Natsuhi is actually. I'm actually feeling very sorry for Natsuhi. She's just taking all of the brunt of the attacks and losing statements and whatnot. Oh, good crying. Plus points for Natsuhi. Natsuhi could no longer hide her tears. She flew from the room in that state. After that, all that remained was a somewhat embarrassed mood about the parlor. When the sound of footsteps grew distant and silence returned, Kraus shrugged his shoulders slightly.
妻が失礼した。
Yeah, what's up, Kraus? You've become so much more interesting during this part.
昔から感情を抑えるのが下手でね。私も苦労している。
あんなのに切り盛りされてたんじゃ、兄さんも気苦労が絶えないわね。
It's okay. You didn't know what kind of family we were marrying into. Or maybe you did, but you didn't know the personalities and the rudeness and yeah, playfulness and sarcastic nature of the siblings.
奥様。
何でもありません。下がりなさい。
Natsuhi flew into her room and bent over the bed, wailing. Those heart-wrenching sobs reached Kumasawa in the hallway.
おいたわしや奥様。奥様とエヴァ様は犬猿の仲。
Yeah.
このお二人の関係を説明するのは、女の私にはとてもしんどくございます。
You still gonna do it?
後宮家は血を特に重んじられますが、嫁いで家を出れば、本来は序列から除籍されます。
Right, but Ava wasn't because she made Hideyoshi take the Ushiromiya name.
ですから、エヴァ様も本来は秀吉様とのご成婚の際に除籍されるはずだったのです。
Yeah.
ところが、これは誰のせいでもありません。ましてや、 奥様のせいであろうはずもありません。神様の気まぐれとしか言いようがありません。クラウス様と夏日様にはなかなか子宝が授からなかったのです。
Right, that's another reason too. Yeah, or maybe that is the main reason. Yeah, because they had George first. George is the oldest and was, yeah, made to be the successor, I guess. But then later on, Jessica was born, and yeah. But yeah, that's how Ava was able to retain her status despite being married.
何しろ男尊女卑の後ろ宮家でございます。妻は後継ぎを残すための道具。
Right, they have that, or at least Kinzo has that weird way of looking at or having a family structure.
その妻が唯一の役割を果たせないのなら、もはや人間扱いなどされません。
That's another reason why Natsuhi's position is like that, and why Ava is able to talk her down like that.
当時の奥様が親方様からどれほど責め苛まれていたか思い出すのも苦しゅうございます。
Damn, Kinzo.
そんな中、エヴァ様に秀吉様とのご結婚の話が持ち上がりました。エヴァ様は狡猾でした。
Very much so.
奥様がいつまでも身ごもられないことにつけ入って親方様に取り入ったのです。入り婿を取って自分が跡継ぎを産むと吹き込み、ご自分の席を後ろ宮家にとどまらせるよう認めさせたのでございます。
Right, that's the reason.
後ろ宮家に嫁ぎ、外様扱いの奥様と入り婿を取る形で血族として残ったエヴァ様は、後ろ宮家の序列の中では雲泥の差。
Yeah, big favoritism from Kinzo.
しかもエヴァ様は先にそれも男児をご出産されております。
Right, this too.
どれほど奥様の立場がエヴァ様の前で弱いものであったか、お察しいただけますでしょうか。
Yeah, I already was able to piece things together, but yeah, your explanation definitely gave it the rounds.
奥様にとっては、もし自分がすぐに解任することができれば、エヴァ様の入り婿など親方様に認めさせずに済み、今日のエヴァ様の増長を許さずに済んだだろうという悔しい気持ちがあるに違いありません。
Right.
しかし、それは奥様のせいであろうはずもない。
Unless Ava actually did something to Natsuhi.
全ては気まぐれな神様とジェシカさんをお届けすることが遅れたコウノトリのせいなのでございます。
Pog new lore update. In this world, women do not become pregnant. Storks deliver babies.
だからといって奥様にはそうと割り切れるはずもない。ただただ妻としての責務を全うできなかったことに、女として悔し涙をこぼすしかできないでしょう。はあ、老いたわしや。私には何もできず、こうして物陰から見守ることしかできないのです。
Yeah, this is one thing that I don't think you can do much about. I mean, you can always defend her verbally and be by her side to comfort her, but yeah, not much you can do about things that happened 23 years ago when George was born. Not much you can change about that. Ava already gained the superior position so long ago. Hello? The end of the scene, right? Need to get used to that. Whoa. Did it always go backwards? No, it's still 13:30. Let me do this. I haven't done this in a while. I don't think we have any new tips, but yeah, nothing there. Let me check if anything character-wise was updated, I guess. Oh, yeah. That's a bit different from the wife, like the grandmother. It was Nanjo. That's why it wasn't attached by the red line. I'm sure some of you had a good laugh about that, for me thinking that Nanjo would be the grandmother. Or Nanjo's position was grandmother's position. I don't think we had Kraus here last time. Let me just right. Yeah, so her position is far from enviable. Yeah. Right, this is where we learned this from. And there's nothing new here. Nope. Nope, nope. Yeah, Asumu, yeah. Nothing about Mario here. Nope. Nope. Yeah, okay, let's read Nanjo first and then Kraus. Nanjo Terumasa, Kinzo's attending physician and longtime friend, once ran a hospital on Nijima, but turned it over to his son and now enjoys his old age in peace. One of the very few people that Kinzo trusts, now that he is held captive by an unrelenting suspicion of others. Oh, Kinzo is... yeah. Right, I thought that Nanjo was being suspicious of others, but Kinzo is right. Big-hearted by nature, he has maintained a long friendship with Kinzo, unperturbed by his tendency to fly into a rage at the slightest provocation. Yeah. Kinzo sure is a character. Oh, fuck. Didn't mean to exit the character menu. Oh, this track has seagulls crying in the background. Ushiromiya Kraus, Kinzo's first child, leads the family conference as the eldest of 4 siblings. However, the other siblings suspect that he plans to claim the entire family fortune for himself, and the antagonism between him and the others grows increasingly severe. A real estate investor, he has put a vast amount of money into the development of a resort. However, his results have been harshly criticized. Right. How long have we been recording? Hour and 16, and the first part was like 40 minutes. I'll do one. I can do a bit more, sure. I'm not sure if we'll get to the next screen breaking moment, but maybe at least this and this part quickly. We crossed the hall again on our way to the entrance. Oh, we are from the kid's perspective again. Okay. As we did, we once again saw that witch's portrait. However, the word saw is probably not the best word to describe that experience. Yeah? It was more like our eyes were drawn to it. Yeah? That woman's eyes, with their sage-like glamour, definitely had the power to make those who looked at her stand rooted to the spot.
Majo, Beatrice ka.
Beatrice.
本当かね?
It is. You should meet her. You probably will later on.
パトラ信じてない?
Back when he had asked what this picture was, the first person to tell him it was Beatrice had been Maria. Therefore, when Battler showed signs of doubt, Maria must have felt that Battler didn't have faith in her. This piano is going crazy. What was the track's name again? Hope. Of course, that was not what Battler meant. Maria ran up to the portrait and began banging on a plate below it. Below it? Does it mean this? It's next to it, but sure. Maybe the title of the portrait was written there. Oh, sure. Maria, trying to prove that she wasn't lying, obstinately continued to hit the plate.
ああ、悪い悪い。別にマリアが言ったのを疑ったわけじゃないぜ。
Yeah, good clarification.
バトラ納得。
When he patted Maria's head and apologized, she seemed to accept it, sticking out her chest and proudly ooh-oohing. Sure.
何
Ooh, Sunbergley. Yeah, it's I have a hard time reading whenever it verbally says ooh and it wasn't voiced. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, lore about Beatrice. I'm here first.
我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェ。懐かしき故郷を貫く。ってなんだこの怪しげな長い碑文はよ。
Behold the sweet fish river. Is is that a type of fish or like a saying? I don't know, but the Japanese said Hokyo, which means homeland. So, I don't know. The plate did have the title of the portrait written on it, but it was much too big to contain only that. Beneath the title, what looked like a long epitaph was also written. As I skimmed over it, I was taken aback by the array of unnerving words that jumped out at me. Oh no, the game is about to throw some big words at me that I have to embarrassingly try to pronounce.
すげえだろそれ。じいさまが書かせたものだよ。
Okay.
意味深だろ
Maybe saved. Maybe I don't need to read it. Well, like, I would want to read it, of course. I want all the lore. But, yeah.
マリア知ってる
You do?
黄金の隠し場所
Ooh. Yeah, sorry, I was, opening a soda bottle to take a sip.
おいおい、後ろ宮家の隠し黄金の話か
Oh, yeah?
そりゃまた懐かしい話だね。
Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember something about this. Maybe it was this specific conversation in the anime.
っていうか兄貴、これマジなのか
But this wasn't the one thing that I do remember that hasn't yet come up.
これを書かせたおじい様はこの絵とこの碑文に関しては何も語ってくれないんだ。
Interesting. Yeah, the one thing I have seen hasn't yet come up, or the one last thing I do remember hasn't yet come up, which is wild because I'm 10 hours into the game and I only watched 3 episodes of the anime, which is like 1 hour of content. So like, wow, it skipped a lot. Or I'm just that slow of a reader and I pause a lot, but you know, whatever. Refuses to say anything about this picture or the epitaph. No, so he has hidden gold somewhere and doesn't want to tell people about it, maybe?
でも親類たちの間ではおじい様の黄金の隠し場所を記したもので、
I see.
この謎を解いた者に家督と黄金のすべてを譲るという意味ではないかともっぱらささやかれてるよ。
Oh, I guess was that what was earlier insinuated with the talk between the adult siblings?
マリア聞いたマリア聞いた黄金いっぱいいっぱい
さてな。10トンの金塊なんてね。
Damn, that's a lot. Let me actually Google that. 10 tons of gold worth. Can we get Google, please? It is how much worth is 1 ton of gold? Difficult to give an exact value of pure gold, but a current and very approximate figure would be 56 million for 1 ton, so 560 million. Damn. So was that his entire fortune, or that was mentioned in the tens of billions of yen, or is that something extra? Because damn, Kinzo filthy rich.
私はちょいと眉唾だけどな。
Nah, you don't know, Jessica. A big amount of gold was mentioned, thus it must exist when we are inside a game.
しかしよ、こんな碑文を読んじまうとマジかなって気になっちまうな。
Sure. I think I already explained grandfather's upbringing, at least the way he gained his fortune, yeah? But let me also mention the Ushiromiya family's Legend of the Gold. Wait, what was the title of this episode? Fuck, it doesn't say here. Wasn't it something about a golden witch? I guess I'll see whenever we start the next part. Grandfather succeeded the Ushiromiya family after it had been almost totally destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake, and by successfully riding the stormy seas after the war, managed to accumulate great wealth, yeah? That much of the story everyone knows. However, this is where the strange part of the story begins. Ooh. Part of it is closely tied to grandfather's black magic hobby, so its credibility is extremely low. But, well, wait until the end before you doubt or make fun of it. Okay, here we go. After the war, grandfather successfully predicted what the future would hold. His big gamble bet paid off, and he accumulated a vast store of wealth. But there is a mysterious legend about how he gained the funds in the first place. Yeah? Grandfather came from a branch family and had no connections in the business world or the financial world. So I think I previously suspected that he made some kind of deal with Beatrice. Like a deal with the devil type of thing. Even though he later built connections with occupying forces, in the beginning he was supposedly a nameless person who had not yet gained anyone's trust. Money can only be gathered based on trust. There's no way anyone would lend money to an untrustworthy person. I mean, sure, I'll give you that. Although there are some weirdos out there. And nowadays we have like quick loans that don't even require any kind of like real planning or contracts. It's just real quick money. How did grandfather, whose trustworthiness was zero, manage to obtain the large amount of funds in the first place? It is said that when asked the question, grandfather answered like this. One fateful day I encountered the golden witch, Beatrice. He then went on and on about how he continued to research alchemy and techniques for summoning demons in order to become a great mage. I do wonder if we will have like actual magic being used. Like I assume that we will see Beatrice at least using magic, but like, do the Ushiromiya family members, are they going to be able to do that? Because so far I haven't seen, like, Maria and Kinzo are interested in black magic, but like, I haven't seen anything that indicates that they would have magical powers, I guess. And the entity summoned as the result of the demon calling ritual was the Golden Witch Beatrice. Okay, never mind. I guess Kinzo, at least by his own words, did black magic and managed to summon Beatrice. I thought that he just encountered her somewhere. He then said that he made a contract where, in exchange for his own soul, he would receive fortune and honor. There we go. That is, one question answered, at least. Assumedly, by his own words. The witch then granted grandfather 10 tons of gold. Grandfather used this gold as collateral to prepare a vast quantity of funds, and then used that to multiply his wealth by several times and revive the Ushiromiya family. Right, so I guess he does have the tens of billions of yen plus the 10 tons of gold also, so basically double the money. It seems that this story is so old that our parents had already been told it when they were still children. So, our parents, when they were little, explored this island in various ways, believing that the gold that grandfather had received from the witch might be hidden somewhere. However, since there was the danger of them getting lost in the abandoned forest, grandmother or someone began to spread the story that the witch lived in the forest and approaching it was too dangerous. So I am of the opinion that the gold is real and exists, is hidden somewhere on the island. I'm wondering if there is like a secret underground cave, or maybe the Tori Gate that sunk or went missing was the location of the gold. Though I forget if the kids were able to visit it earlier, maybe they would have noticed if the gold was there. Another one is that it's actually just in Kinzo's study and he doesn't let anyone there. But maybe not. Another idea would be maybe inside or behind one of the Beatrice portraits, although those are pretty new. And then I guess one safe place would be below the current old mansion that was built. Hard to dig up under it.
そんな話があったな。俺たちも小さい頃、親からその話を聞かされて、宝探しと称して島中はあちこちうろうろして。
A thematic place to hide the gold would be in the rose garden or somewhere where a large amount of seagulls gather.
森で迷ってワンワン泣いて、しお兄さんに見つけてもらって、親にめちゃくちゃ怒られたんじゃなかったっけ？懐かしいぜ。
バカだったよな。だってよ、じいさまはその資本金で儲けた挙句でこの島を買うんだぜ。この島に来る前から黄金を持ってたってことになるじゃねえか。
Right, so the gold could be outside of the island as well. But probably not since the setting of the game is this island.
この島にあるわけがないぜ。
そうとも限らないよ。その黄金が元からこの島に隠されていて、それを確実に自分のものにするためにこの島を丸々買い取ったとかね。
Sure.
何しろ10トンもあるんだもん。安全な場所に移すより隠し場所そのものを確保する方が現実的だよ。
How large is like a pile of gold that weighs 10 tons? Because I know gold is quite dense. Or like, I don't know if it's super dense, but at least it weighs a lot, so I think it could be quite a big pile. I'm not sure if it's like a vault worth of stuff, like a big vault or a room worth of gold, but there might be a good sized pile. I don't know.
この碑文を書かせたのは2年前。
2 years ago.
それもじいさま自身ってなると、なるほど。黄金伝説も信憑性が増してくるじゃねえか。じいさまが後宮家復興の資本金にしたという魔女に授けられた黄金が10トン。そいつがどこかに今も眠っていて、じいさまはこの謎を解けたやつに全部を譲ろうって、そういうつもりなのかもしれね
え。Sure. It would be real funny if we have this much focus on Beatrice and witches, but in the end she actually didn't even exist and it's all just delusions of Kinzo. I mean, that's surely not the case because only Madman would make that kind of story. Dedicate so much time and then not deliver on it.
じいさまらしいセンスというか、なんというか。マジならなんとも景気のいい話だぜ。
The epitaph carved into the plate was very mysterious, something like a poem or a song. Its sentences were incredibly disturbing, filled with the signs of grandfather's black magic hobby, and truly in bad taste. Can we read the whole epitaph? I feel like there's lots of context clues there. But it could definitely be viewed as a puzzle, which, if solved, could lead to the place where the gold was hidden. Yeah?
そういうつもりなのかどうか、おじいさまの胸中は想像もつかないけどね。一つ言えるのは、このうさんくさい碑文を、おじいさまは一族全員に告示するかのようにここに掲示したこと。そして、黄金の存在はほのめかしながらも、未だにその隠し場所について一切触れないこと。
Yeah, curious.
そこから、親たちが想像を膨らませて、おじいさまの知恵比べに違いないって言い出した。
欲の皮が突っ張ってるうちの親父あたりだろうぜ。こんな弱いことを真に受けてるなんてよ。じいさまの黒魔術趣味はバカにしてるくせに、この隠し黄金の話だけは信じてやがる。
My man's kinda desperate for any kind of money due to his debts. Also, how long have you guys had the one-winged eagle design? Because Beatrice has, I don't know if it's the exact same, but it is orange and wing-ish design on her dress, which is interesting.
調子のいい話さ。
確かに現実的な話じゃないよね。
Maybe it's just that Kinzo saw the design and based the family crest on it later, since he assumedly summoned Beatrice before he began building his treasure or fortune. Yeah, not a realistic story, but we are in a game, so it's probably true.
当時無名で何のコネクションもなかったおじいさまに無償で莫大な金塊を融資する人物なんているわけがない。それがいたからこそ、おじいさまはそのスポンサーを魔女と呼んだというなら考えられない話じゃないけど。
Sure, that's the more realistic way of looking at it, I guess.
でもよ、10トンだぜ、10トン。
That is true. George has no idea we're in a game.
一体現金に直したらいくらくらいになるんだ？
Well, in today's value, $600 million, or $500 to $600 million.
っていうか、とんでもない量になるはずだぜ。
Yes, which would be 50 to 60 billion yen, roughly.
とんでもない量だよ。人類が有史以来発掘した黄金はせいぜい10万トンって言われてる。
Damn.
人類の歴史が手にした黄金の1万分の1を個人が手にしてるっていうのはとてつもないことだよ。
Yeah. But, you know.
それが一箇所にあり、しかもそれをおじいさまにポンと貸し出せるような魔女。
George has no idea about Jeff Bezos' bank account. That place to be holding a large sum of money.
ただものじゃないね。
True.
私はよ、その10トンって数字ももはや嘘くさいと思ってるぜ。第一よ、じいさま以外に見たやつはいないんだろ。仮に気前のいい魔女が実在して黄金を貸したとしても、それは10は10でも10キロぐらいの間違いじゃねえのか。
I wonder if Genji has seen the gold since he's been with Kinzo for quite a while.
10キロでも相当いい金額になるはずだぜ。
That is true.
10キロの黄金っていくら？
Maria, who couldn't keep up and felt like she was being spoken to in riddles, finally found a place where she could ask us a question. Yeah. A question which I also wanted to ask right then. Whether I hear 10 kilos or 10 tons, I know that it's an incredible amount, but I couldn't put a number on exactly how incredible. Okay, George Clutch, can you give us a number in 1986 trading standard value? George Aniki folded his arms and tried to remember the market price of gold.
さあ、金も相場の影響を受けるから何とも言えないし、純度や鋳造先の信用によっても変わってくる。
True.
換金に手数料もかかるし、ただ希少金属であることは間違いなくて、このまま採掘が進めば人類はあと半世紀ほどで全てを掘り尽くしてしまうんじゃないかって憶測もある。でたらめに言って1キロあたり200万円程度の価値はあるんじゃないかと思うね。
Okay, 2 million yen, so $200,000, $20,000 for 1 kilo. So $20,000 multiplied by 1,000 for 1 ton would be no, how much would it be? I'm so bad at maths. $20,000 multiplied by 1,000 would be, that's $20 million. That would be 1 ton of gold. And then it was that times 10, so it would be $200 million. So quite a bit less than mentioned on at least the website that I checked, which estimated 1 ton to be worth 50 something million. Okay, but maybe it's worth now more, and back then it was just this much, or maybe that side was lying. Who knows? And of course, George would have this kind of sprite where he lifts up his glasses.
ひゅー、私よ、10キロってのは今適当に言って控えめな数字なんだけどよ、それでも2000万円の価値があるってことになるじゃねえかよ。
マリア、体重28キロ。
Good for you, Mario.
ということは、マリアちゃんと同じ重さの黄金なら、その価値は5000万円を超えるって計算になるね。
そりゃたまげるな。
Yeah.
10トンならいくらだ？ 10 キロで2000万が1000倍だから、
Oh fuck, I'm being exposed. I'm at the same level as Battler.
はぁ、200億円か？
Yeah.
こりゃたまらねえや。
How much is 20 billion yen actually worth? We would have to measure it by putting it in terms we could understand. I mean, they say that the wages over a lifetime are 200 million yen. Sure. You grow up and work like crazy, sacrificing your life for your company, and as you approach old age, are finally freed. And all that together, including the retirement money, comes out at 200 million yen. In other words, that is the cash equivalent of a human's life. No, you could even call it the price of a life. We were talking about a sum so enormous that it would require 100 of those lives. assuming you worked for 40 years from age 20 to age 60, then it's equal to 4,000 years of work wages. Yeah, it is a ridiculous amount of money. It is a sum of money you could finally accumulate after working every day, starting from the Jomon period. I don't know when that is. Maybe somewhere around 1600s, I don't know.
200億円ってすごい？
Let me Google that. Jomon period. Jomon period is wait, what? In Japanese history, the Jomon period is the time between 14,000 and 300 BC. Damn. Never mind, not 1600s. A lot earlier.
ああ、すげえよ。マリアの大好きなショートケーキだったら、多分一生かかっても食い切れないくらい買えるぜ。
Yes.
でも、200億円という現金ならいざ知れず、それと同等の金塊が一ところにあるなんて、とても現実的とは思えないね。
That is a clever line of thinking. It could be melted and put into various places inside various objects, or made into decorations or something. Maybe inside all of the walls. Maybe part of these railings here. Although was there something mentioned about redecoration of this mansion? I don't remember.
さっきも言った通り、黄金は非常に重くて、財産をまとめておくにはちょっと便利とは思えないよ。ものすごい額面の有価証券とか、ものすごく価値のある宝石とか、そういうものなら考えられなくもないけれど、戦時中の混乱期に自分の資産を持ち運べるよう全て宝石などに変えた人たちがいたのは有名な話だからね。でも黄金で資産を備蓄したというのはなかなか聞かない。
確かに重いけどよ、国際的に一番信用されてて価値も安定してるし、意味はあるんじゃないのかな。
Sure.
証券とかだったら国が滅びちまったら紙切れになっちまうわけだし。
そういう考え方もあるね。でも 10kg のインゴット一つでも体感重量は相当のものだよ。
Yeah, true.
聞いたことない？ 50kg の人間は背負えても 50kg の俵は担げないって。
I don't know. While I was in the army, like how many years ago was it? We did carry some pretty heavy bags that included a lot of stuff. So you can definitely carry a heavy bag. I'm not sure about 50 kilograms, but like I think those bags easily weigh over 20 kilos. Probably somewhere around 30 kilos. So you can still carry big bags.
それだけの莫大な重量の金塊を個人が所有するリスクと手間は計り知れないね。
Sure.
ってことはつまり200億円の札束がうなってるって話ならともかく、200億円分の黄金が山積みになってるってのはちょいと現実味がないわけだな。
Sure, but this is witches and magic, black magic that we're talking about.
そういうことになるね。
Unreality, it doesn't matter here.
黄金伝説なんて響きはとても面白いんだけど、そもそも10トンの黄金という時点で少々無理があるね。
But I guess George is still not believing that it's an actual witch, but just someone who appeared to be like a witch to the grandfather who got so much money. So he's not thinking of it in the magical ways it could work.
そうやってリズムで考えるとみるみる嘘くさくなっていくぜ。夢のない話さ。
でもそこは何しろあのおじいさまだからね。親切なお金持ちからの融資を大げさに吹聴して魔女から授かった10トンの黄金、 なんて例え方をしたのかもしれないよ。
That is true. When we were in his study while he was yapping, he did have a tendency to speak in a pretty flower language, like very exaggerated or theatrical, or I don't know. He used fancy words. A bit of a not quite Junibio, but like in a similar vein.
10トンという数字も象徴的な感じがするしね。
つまり借りた金のありがたさは10トンの黄金に匹敵する価値があったってなことだな。
じいさまに大金持ちの勇敢マダムが気前よく恵んでくれて、
Ayo.
そのご婦人を魔女と呼んだ。
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut off. Jessica's example isn't bad. Someone was generous enough to lend a huge sum of money to grandfather when his trustworthiness was still zero. She would certainly be someone worthy of being called a witch. Furthermore, grandfather later used that money to build a vast amount of wealth. With such an incredible ability to judge people, again, she might well be fittingly called a witch. Also, since she went to the trouble of lending all that money, she might also have enthusiastically guided how it was spent. Come to think of it, the idea to get involved with the occupying forces and profit from the Korean War demands might have come from the witch as well. Maybe. Or maybe Beatrice just cast a spell of foresight or something, I don't know. With all that considered, saying that he received wealth and honor from a witch might actually be a fair description. Sure.
なるほどな。ってことはつまり、この魔女様は後ろ宮家復興のための資金を恵んでくださった復興の大恩人ってわけだ。となりゃ、じい様が感謝の気持ちを込めてこんだけでかい絵を描かせて掲げさせたってのも、なるほど、おかしい話じゃないのかもな。
That is, I guess. I can follow that logic. Yeah.
ひょっとするとよ、当の本人は見るからに魔女っぽいばあさんだったかもしれないぜ。
Rude. Beatrice is gonna slap you later in the game.
それをじいさまが美化してこんな美人に描いてくれたってのは考えられる話さ。案外当の本人に会ってみたらこんなに美人じゃないかもしれねえな。
Beatrice is gonna kill you.
ありえるね。ベアトリーチェって名前はいかにも洋風だけど、僕たち一族の名前がみんな洋風であることを考えると、このベアトリーチェって名前も日本人名を無理やり洋風にアレンジしたものなのかもしれないよ。
Doubt. I think Beatrice is the actual name.
なるほど、
Maybe.
なるほど。
Well, I don't know. I kind of like that idea. It could work. Yeah.
この美人は絵の中にしかいないってわけだな。
Yeah, with your logic, sure.
それじゃあの立派そうな胸は揉めそうにないぜ。
Hey yo.
鼻っから魔女なんておかしいんだよな。そんなのが地球上のどこにいるってんだ。
Well, you never know. As I laughed and made fun of the witch in an attempt to differentiate myself from the kid I was 6 years ago who was afraid of the witch of the forest, Maria tugged on my sleeve. The strength with which she so displayed a little annoyance. The strength with which she did so displayed a little annoyance, right?
なんだよ、マリア。
You've angered her. Face the wrath of a 8-year-old kid, or 9-year-old kid.
ベアトリーチェはいる。
Yeah. She had on her usual sour look, but I could tell she was angry because of the color of her eyes.
魔女いる。魔女はいる。
Mm-hmm.
なんだよ、そりゃいるだろうよ。テレビをつけりゃアニメとかによ。
Shut up.
いる。魔女
I started to feel pressured, not knowing why Maria was jumping on me like this. Then Jessica tapped me on the shoulder and told me in a small voice.
バカだな。子供の夢打ち砕いてんじゃねえぜ。
Yeah.
マリアは魔女とかベアトリージェとかが確かに存在するって信じてんだよ。
確かマリアちゃんは学校の文集に将来なりたいものは魔女って書いたんだっけ？
Hey. Maria nodded seriously. Watch her actually become a real witch during this game. Tears started to run from the corners of her eyes. I see. To a girl who wants to become a witch in the future, this Beatrice is proof that witches do exist in this world, and is also someone who she admires and strives to be like. Yeah, you fucked up, Battler. Apologize immediately.
いるよ、魔女は。お兄ちゃんは信じるよ。
George Onigi knelt down and held Maria's hand. Watching this, Jessica poked me in the side. So that's what it is. It's basically like I just dropped the bomb that Santa Claus doesn't exist. How dare you? He does. In front of a child who believes in him on Christmas Eve. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to shatter kids' dreams.
悪かったぜ。別にマリアの夢にケチをつけたわけじゃねえんだ。謝るよ。ベアトリーチェはいるよな。今もこの島の森の中に住んでいて、夜な夜なこの屋敷で何をやってるのか覗き見しに来るんだろ？
Hey yo. I mean, you just made that up, but what if she actually does? What if this very night we wake up from a bad dream and see Beatrice staring right at us?
だから森には入っちゃいけない。
That would be kind of hype.
夜はいつまでも暗い森を眺めていてはいけない。森の魔女ベアトリーチェに見つかってしまうかもしれないから。バサマがそう言ってたんだもんな。
本当にバトラーは信じる？
ああ、信じるぜ。ケチをつけて悪かったよ。ほら、仲直りしようぜ。
I stuck out my hand and Maria grabbed it with her tiny hand and we made up. Hey, there we go. Maria didn't grumble any more than that, so George, Aniki and Jessica were relieved. Yeah, this is... I think she just came to their scene, but I think this is a good cutoff point. That was a very fun episode. The dinner scene was quick, but then the adults talking about themselves and dividing fortunes, that was really interesting, and Kraus became a lot more interesting character to me. I loved the CG of Ava and Natsuhi. Poor Natsuhi took L's and stocks went up for her too. I actually felt sorry for her, and this whole talk about the gold, for hidden gold, and Beatrice was also highly entertaining. It's always nice to get some lore. Not sure how accurate it all will be, because it's told from the perspective of like kids who don't know much or who might not believe it, but still very fun. Yeah, this is the end of this extra part. I think I'll just edit and upload this as soon as I can to Patreon and put it out 2 weeks from that moment on. So yeah, if you'd like to get access to it or to other episodes quicker, you can do so. There's a link down in the description to my Patreon for 2-week early access. So yeah, go there if that interests you. But until next time, I'll see you guys then. Bye.